Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. It's the last one of the day. And we're going to start this one with just a wonderful little bit of self-congratulation. Because she, Angela Constance, you can tell from the thumbnail, has admitted that she's incompetent. Not just her, the whole government. She's come out and said that they were incompetent and that their government was a shambles. It's not quite the word she used, but it's close enough. And so, as we go into this last one, let me ask you for one final time today to do please, if you are yet to do so, hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button, because you will like this one, because it's not often they admit that they're wrong. And we can move on with that. And definitely leave a comment in the video. Sorry, in the comments box at the end. Because it really does help the video get out there and push. And it helps the channel no end. And we are growing, and it's fantastic, and it's down to people like you that we're growing. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Anyway, Angela Constance has come out and she's moaning that people are misunderstanding the hate crime. And it is an absolute mess because people don't misunderstand it. They understand it all too well and they're using it. The only misunderstanding here is the fact that nobody within the SNP is capable of drafting laws that aren't complete and utter messes. But we'll take a look at this to see why Angela is in a bit of a pickle, being the minister responsible for sort of running this mess. Here goes. So Angela Constance lays bare the SNP incompetence as she admits the government could have done more over hate crime shambles. Now, like I say, these aren't her words, but the meaning is clear that it is a mess and that she has been dropped in it and is left to clear up Humza's mess. Not for the first time. The Scottish Government's Justice Secretary confessed that her own administration should have done more to stop the shambolic rollout of the bill, I think. Of the hate crime bill is where they're going with that one. As MSPs get a chance to vote on repealing it. And of course that's going through this afternoon. Now, at the time of recording this, it's only sort of 1 o'clock. I'll be finishing soon. So I won't know what the result is. But as soon as it comes in, I will do a short. So keep an eye out for that. So SNP Minister has spectacularly admitted that her own Scottish Government could have done more to prevent the rollout of the hate crime laws from being a shambles. Justice Secretary Angela Constance confessed that her administration did not do enough to inform the public about the legislation. No, but the public don't need the legislation. This was Humza Yousaf's blasphemy by the back door law. That's all it was. That's why it's such a mess. Everything else was tacked onto it, but the core of it is the mustn't say bad things about Islam part. She was speaking during a debate at the Scottish Parliament following the news that the number of online hate reports have plummeted by 75% in the second week of implementation. Data released by Police Scotland showed there were 1,832 received last week, down from 7,000 odd the week before. But even then, 1,800 a week, it's still a lot. Once again, the vast majority of these reports did not require any further action, with only 213 recorded and 240 being noted the previous week. So the actual number of reported and recorded crimes is fairly constant. From 240 to 213, see where it goes next week. It might bounce up a little bit, who knows. The Scottish Tories have called for the legislation to be repealed due to the impact on the force of dealing with this huge influx of reports and the effects on free speech, which are of themselves almost terrible. You can't say things, you mustn't say things, you have to think about what you say. Oh, what about this, what about that? It stops you having real, genuine discussions. And that's the problem. But it's all part of the mass control, isn't it? Ms Constance confessed that her government should have done better to inform the public about the legislation and only just published a fact sheet on Tuesday, a full 15 days after it came into force. The executive also spent almost £400,000 of taxpayers' money advertising a law that will likely soon eventually be repealed. Money that could have been spent on other things. She said, I accept that the Scottish Government could have done more to inform people about this act, as well as their approach to the wider task of tackling hate crime. There is no hate crime. Hate crime is invented terms. Hate crime is people saying things that other people don't like. Doesn't mean it's hate. It just means that they speak the truth. And one of the problems you have within this hate crime is there is no defence. Now, if, for example, under the laws of, say, slander, your defence is you can say whatever you like, provided it's true. It is not slanderous if it's true. With the Hate Crime Act, you should be able to say anything you like, provided you prove that it is true. And if it's true, it cannot be hate. Facts must never be hate, in the same way as facts can never be libel or slander. She said, to be clear, even if the government had produced more information, bad faith actors who were intent on spreading disinformation would have done so regardless. Yes, and they still are. Unfortunately, they're sitting in Holyrood, elected officials. She said the purpose and intent of the Hate Crime Act, which was passed by 82 members of this democratically elected parliament, is to protect those in the country at risk of hatred and prejudice. No, it's not. That's not at all what the purpose of this crime was for. You know it, I know it, we all know it. We all know exactly what this bill was brought in for. She said, so she also accuses critics of the legislation of trivialising and exaggerating the impact of the Hate Crime Act with false facts. Well, no, your act says if you feel offended, that is where the crime happens. If you've got a very badly worded act, it's not the people's fault, is it? It's the stupid wanker that wrote the act. Wonder who that could possibly be. Oh, yeah. This is despite the likes of one of Scotland's top judges, Lord Hope, there we are, Lord Hope, blasting it as gesture politics, and the likes of the Association of Scottish Police Superintendents and the Scottish Police Federation airing their concerns. Scottish Tory Justice spokesman Russell Findlay, who was leading the calls for the law to be repealed, pointed out that it was more SNP politicians who were stoking the misinformation by misquoting it when asked about it. And that's where we are. You've got a stupid law written by a stupid man, implemented by a stupid woman, and then everybody's moaning about it, and they're going, oh, well, it's not our fault, because they're all stupid. Literally, that's it. Low IQ government. Government by morons. And what do you expect? And the police are bearing the brunt of it, but keep up the attacks, keep up the reporting. Let's make sure that next week's numbers are up on the 1,800. Let's see if we can do more and push a few more. Get back up to 2,000, 3,000 next week, just to show that the law is working. I'm coming up. It's a cracking law if you know how to use it. It's not at all. It's a load of rubbish. It will, of course, have an enduring legacy, and that's the important thing. Because what we'll all think about in years to come is, do you remember that time when that moron brought that stupid law out? And that, of course, will be Hamza's legacy. A legacy of failure, a legacy of stupidity, a legacy of ignorance. Because he thinks we're stupid. He thinks that we're going, oh yes, it's a wonderful hate crime law, when we know full well it's a blasphemy law. It was never designed as anything else. And that is why it must be rejected. Human beings have rights. Ideas do not. Don't attack the Muslim, but attack Islam. They are different. One is a human being with all the rights and freedoms of expression that he's entitled to, or she. The other is just a terrible idea dreamt up in a dream by a strange man a long time ago. Anyway, I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Keep an eye out for the shorts though, plenty of them coming. Bye.